Hello, welcome to the ABCs of Education. And I'm Jerry Rankin, the host and the producer. And with me tonight is Stephanie, and what name are you using tonight, Stephanie?
Oh, Antriasian.
Antriasian. Okay, she has two names, I have to watch out.
Yeah.
And our illustrious guest tonight is Michelle Russo. And guess which one is the hypnotist? It's not me, that's for sure. Well, I might be getting hypnotized tonight, and also tonight, for the very first time on this show, I'm trying something new with Facebook, and we're streaming live. So everybody that's my friend, if they're watching it now, you're live. Otherwise, this show is being taped, okay? And I'm looking forward, it's called the ABCs of Education. I'm trying to find a new name. It's a new time of year, beginning of the year, and so if you have any suggestions, you have to use my the email address I have now. It's for the show. It's theabced@yahoo.com. So send me an email with your suggestion of what the show should be named. If you want the show to go off the air, just say that too. But we're going to have Michelle tonight for hypnotism. I'm trying to get Ron Crum from Middletown. He's involved with the homeless shelters and also the food bank and things like that. And I want to get some firemen from the 5 districts in the area for volunteerism, trying to get the 5 chiefs together in one place here. And maybe we can get some enthusiasm for you folks out there to maybe volunteer, become a fire person. Fireman? Firewoman? I don't know. Without telling me what the right term is. And also magicians. So I have the year planned, almost a whole year planned. Gotta slow down. Haven't done this in a long time. So Happy New Year, ladies.
Happy New Year.
And did you make any reservations? What's the terminology? Resolutions.
There you go. Well, I didn't, and it's a good thing because I heard even if I did, I probably wouldn't have followed through unless I did a little bit of hypnosis.
What about you, Michelle? Did you make any resolutions?
I did make resolution. Just to eat better, exercise more, and take off about 10 pounds.
Okay,
so.
Fair enough. And I noticed in your information you sent about the percentage of people that make resolutions and the percentage of people that don't go through with the resolutions.
Yes, and it's a little discouraging. People go into the new year with the best of intentions of changing their life and making a positive change, whether it's losing weight or quitting smoking or making some other positive change. But what happens is by February, March, most people, it's a pretty high percent, I don't remember the number, I know it's a pretty high percent, will give up their resolution and return to their old way of living.
And what do you think the cause of that is?
There's multiple things. The first being how people go about planning their resolutions. Some people just say, I'm going to lose weight. And that's wonderful. But how much weight? And how are you going to do it? This all has to be part of a plan. Am I going to eat less? Am I going to exercise more or do both? Some other way of losing weight? There needs to be a plan, but there also needs to be an amount. I'm going to lose 10 pounds, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And a lot of times people just go into it with a very vague idea of what they're looking for. So the first thing people need to do is be very specific about their goal. The next thing, and this is kind of where hypnosis comes in and becomes really helpful, people want to make positive changes, and they tend to do it with their conscious mind. They make a conscious decision to eat less, to eat fruit instead of cake, and that's a great plan to have. But when you make that change on a conscious level, it becomes hard to maintain. Because what happens is your habitual way of thinking and your habitual way of living will ultimately take over. And if you have a bad habit of eating unhealthy foods, it's hard to maintain that conscious desire and the conscious motivation to continue eating healthy foods. So The trick is to really change your subconscious thinking, to break that pattern, break that habit of unhealthy living, and really create a new habit. And habits are a really a subconscious act, so it needs to happen at a subconscious level.
I read one place that it takes about 21 days to form a new habit or to break an old habit.
Yeah, sure.
Something like that.
And there's some truth to that. I don't know if the number needs to be exactly 21. It could be 14 or it could be 30. You know, it depends on the habit, it depends on the person, but repetition, repetition of a behavior brings it into the subconscious mind. Like if you think about learning to tie your shoes, when you were a kid, you had to learn how to make the bow and tie your shoes properly. You start to learn that on a very conscious level. It takes all your concentration to wrap the string around the bow and to pull it tight so that your shoe stays on. Over time, though, and it could be 21 times you tie your shoes, and on that 22nd time, you've got it, and you're able to do it more on that subconscious level without thinking. You can be talking and watching TV and tying your shoe at the same time, whereas when you're first learning, you know, you need full concentration on it. And it's like that with any habit, any change that you make. It starts off, it takes a lot of concentration, it takes a lot of willpower, and as you move along to that, you know, that 21-day mark, it starts to become more and more automatic. And if you so if you can keep that going for that 21 days or 30 days, whatever it might be, eventually that takes root on the habitual level, on that subconscious level.
So repetition and staying and being specific with what your goals are, and you know, and also I think realistic.
Oh,
right?
exactly. Yeah,
Making sure they're attainable, so they're not so far above and beyond your reach.
Right, right. There's instances where people really can't lose weight because they have a health condition. They're on medication that causes them to gain weight. So it's a little unrealistic to expect somebody to be able to lose their weight just by changing their diet or exercise if they have those kind of challenges behind them. You know, and same with a lot of other habits. You have to really look at it. Is this change, you know, physically possible for me? And you know, a lot of times it is. It's a matter of just getting that, you know, to become a habit. But yeah, you do want to be realistic about it.
Right, and then also positivity, right? As far as making, you know, keeping a positive mind, I was reading that, you know, if you stay positive, if you know you're going to be successful, almost like you know, thinking successfully, the power of positive thinking.
Yes.
So that comes into play as well.
Yeah, and visualizing in a positive way.
Right.
I think what happens with some people, and probably a lot of people, for some reason, it's kind of our default to go to the negative. You know, you want to lose weight, you need to start visualizing yourself slimmer, visualizing yourself the way you want to appear. And again, being realistic. I mean, everyone has a body shape and a frame, you know, so it's a matter of being realistic about that visualization. But you need to visualize yourself being slimmer, being toned, being healthy. Most of us, though, we look in the mirror and we see the flaws, we see the things we don't like, and again, it comes down to habit. We habitually begin to focus on those negative things, and we're like, oh, you know, I've got puffy cheeks, or I've got thick thighs, and that becomes the focus. And even though you're determined on a conscious level to thin down those thighs or bring out those cheekbones, it's the wrong way to go about it. The more you visualize the negative, the more your subconscious wants to create that. The subconscious really communicates on a level of visualization and images, the imagination. So if you're constantly imagining the worst, like, oh, I'm so fat, or I'm so this or so that, you're really creating more of that. Your subconscious will say, oh, okay, this is the picture you're putting in front of me. I will do my best to maintain that.
Right. You're reinforcing it.
Exactly, exactly. So you really want to visualize yourself at your best, hang pictures up. If you have pictures of what you looked like in the past that you're pleased with, you're happy with, put those pictures up so you can see them all the time. Maybe you've never been happy with how you've looked, and that's okay, but get a vision in your mind of what you want to look like or how you want your life to be. And that's what your subconscious will work with and will start to bring about all the conditions that are necessary to create that.
Very interesting.
Well, I had you on the show 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
I think
We talked
so.
about
Yeah.
the same kind of
For New
stuff.
Year's.
And if I had paid attention, I guess, back then, I'd be down like the size of my finger, I think. But I did lose, I think from last January to this January, I think roughly 10 or 12 pounds. I think it's all in my foot. My feet are very thin. I got the thinnest feet you could ever ask for. And, but I think, like you were saying before, instead of just saying losing weight, or be a realistic goal, like instead of saying 20 pounds this year, say 12 pounds, that 1 pound a month.
Yeah,
Something
and
like
you can
that.
always, when you reach that goal, you can make a decision at that time. Do I want to take it further, or am I happy at the 12-pound mark? And
Yeah.
you know, you set a new goal. But
Right.
yeah, small, steady goals. That's the way to go.
Right. So I guess, I mean, I'm kind of curious, how did you get started in this? And what made you decide that this is something that you'd like to do and focus on and concentrate on? And
Yeah. I've always been interested in the mind power, and all that goes with that. But it was really, it's a few years back, maybe 12 years or so. I'm trying to think. I think it was 2007. I got a phone call from my brother, and he says, "Guess what? I'm getting married. And guess what? The wedding's going to be in Minnesota," you know, and I live in Connecticut. So I knew I had to get on a plane so I could get to the wedding, and I was petrified. I was like, I don't even know how I can do this. There's no way I can get on a plane and fly. And
or fear.
yeah, I was paralyzed with fear, but I really wanted to go to this wedding. It meant everything to me. And I just so happened to have the good luck, the good fortune of meeting a gentleman who actually did a lot of NLP type work, hypnosis type work with salespeople, of all things, more on a corporate level. But he was really good. I saw one of his programs at the library, and he was really good. And I talked to him after the program and said, you know, what can you do about helping me get on an airplane to fly? And he said, piece of cake. So we met up shortly after that. He did some work with me in one session. We just had one session. And I was ready to fly when we were done with that. And I was kind of in love with power of the mind before that.
Right.
But after that, I mean, I was just in love with hypnosis and NLP and all of that. And
So was it something he said? Was it something he wanted you to imagine? Or what was it that he...
yeah, he put me through a process of really visualizing the flight. Actually, he had me visualizing my fear. It's actually the opposite of what I just said earlier. Don't visualize the negative. But he had me visualize worst case scenario, the worst possible flight I could possibly imagine. You know, and I'm thinking turbulence. I'm thinking a tiny little space.
Could you feel that anxiety inside your body when you were thinking about it?
As we got talking about it, it would easily, you know, make my palms sweat, and I could feel my heartbeat kind of doing its thing. So he really worked me up into a state, but then he had me visualize changing the scene. Like he had me actually in my mind put all of that negative visualization up on a movie screen, and he had me alter the film. He had me change it from a colored picture to black and white. He had me running the film in reverse. Had me running the film forward very fast, making it very comical. He had me distorting it, making it very blurry. And then he brought in a positive image of flying. You know, he asked me, how would I want the flight to be? My best case scenario. So I visualized that, and he had me put that in the corner of the movie screen, you know, in my mind. This is all taking place in my imagination. So I have on this movie screen this big negative, scary image of a flight gone wrong. And down in the corner of the screen is the way I want the flight to be. And he did what's called like a swish pattern. And he had me quickly swish that image across the screen so that the negative went down into the small screen, and then the positive image, you know, went up on the big screen. And he had me go through that routine a few times to really lock it in, lock it in solid. And I think even while I was kind of in that zone, I was really focused, really at that hypnotic level. I think he spoke some positive suggestions to me as well. I honestly don't remember every detail of it, just because so much is, you know, subconscious. It's hard to hold on to every memory of it. But I do think he spoke some positive affirmations around all of that. And when it was over, I was ready to fly. I wanted to travel, and my trip was still maybe 6 months away from the time we had the session. So I was just chomping at the bit to get on a plane, and was really excited. And when that day came, I got on the plane. I do remember waiting for the plane, waiting to board, feeling a little bit of tension. And then I said, no, this isn't really anxiety. This is excitement. And immediately I just relaxed. And boarded the plane, got on it, and I thought we were on the runway too long. I was like, let's get this thing up in the air. I wanna, you know, get up there.
The most fun part.
Yeah, and I was just so amazed at how just one session could really change my mindset to the degree. Because if you knew me before this whole thing, you couldn't have gotten me on a plane for love or money. I mean, there was no amount of money that was going to get me on an airplane.
I knew a lady years ago that was just like that also. She had to fly for business, and I don't think she realized what it was all about until she got on the plane and she had to get off. So then she went to somebody, I don't know if it was a hypnotist or something else she did, but you know, after that she seemed to be fine. And how long was your session? Do you remember that? Like an hour or?
Yeah, I don't even think it was a full hour. I think it was maybe 45 minutes, and some of that was us just chit-chatting about, you know, the trip that I had coming up. So the actual process was probably even shorter, maybe half an hour, 20 minutes.
Well, it's the determination too, because you must have been so excited. You wanted to go see your brother's wedding, and you knew you wanted to do it. So that was a positive. Yeah,
and that's important too with hypnosis, is it really has to be something that the person wants for themselves. What happens a lot of time, especially this happens with smokers a lot, they come in because their spouse is nagging them to quit smoking, or, you know, even their doctor is kind of telling them, you know, you need to quit, you're having, you know, you're beginning to have health problems. But that's very hard to work with somebody when it's not their goal. You know, when people come in, it's their goal to quit smoking. It's, you know, it's one session. And then sometimes we just do some follow-up just to really, you know, lock it in as a lifetime permanent change.
What's the main, not problem, but what's the main, when people come to see you, what's their main complaint or reason for coming to see you? Did you have, the main, do you have similarities?
Yeah, well, I see a lot of people for weight loss and smoking. I think those are like the two most popular reasons people seek out a hypnotist. But they all have a common denominator of changing a bad habit, you know.
Biting fingernails or?
Yeah, biting fingernails.
How about stuttering?
That's a good one.
Yeah, stuttering can be worked with in hypnosis depending on the situation. Sometimes stuttering can be a neurological issue. And again, it comes down to a realistic goal. You know, what is causing the stuttering? If it's nervousness, yeah, absolutely. You know, hypnosis is great for that.
Calm people down.
Yeah, sometimes just slowing down a person's thinking pattern, and allowing for that can help with stuttering. But again, it depends what's causing it.
No, I mentioned before we got going on the show, that Stephanie and I are kind of wannabe actors. We've been in some
Speak for
shows.
yourself.
Yes, you have.
And we've been in a few shows.
No wannabe about it.
Now, we're there.
Yeah.
We are doing it.
Yes.
Now, the thing is there a way through hypnosis that a person can learn their lines easier through hypnosis than
quickly.
just repeating?
Yeah, absolutely. Just allowing yourself to go into a state of self-hypnosis, which is really, at its simplest level, it's really just a deep relaxation. And when you're in that state, you can learn much better, and it also enhances your ability to recall. The key is you have to study your lines to begin with. You have to go through them. It's not going to magically, it's not like if you, put the script under your pillow and go to sleep at night,
tried that
you're going to wake up
times.
and, it doesn't
No wonder
work.
you missed some lines.
You actually have to
slipped through them.
study the script. You have to read the script, but hypnosis will enhance that ability to really hold that in your memory and allow you to recall it when you're on the stage.
So it's not a magic pill. We haven't found that magic
Right,
pill
not
yet,
yet.
Stephanie.
Right. And I do work with people who are using hypnosis to enhance their academic performance so that they can have recall on their exams. And I always have to make sure that they're doing their homework, that
There you go.
they're actually studying, because you have to have the information up there first.
Right.
And then hypnosis helps you recall that. But you have to learn it to
Right.
begin with,
Right.
so it's not a magic wand, to just magically
shucks.
change your grade or magically, teach you something. You have to do the learning yourself.
So does meditation come into play here? Because you said it's almost like a deep relaxation ultimately. So is meditation maybe a part of?
There's similarities between hypnosis and meditation, especially in the fact that it is very relaxing. With meditation, though, you're generally just focusing on maybe a mantra or just focusing on one particular thing. You might be focusing your eyes on a candle in the middle of the table. Where hypnosis, you're really taking that relaxing state and really putting it to use. So you're doing a lot more visualization and a lot more with perhaps affirmations. And
Positive thoughts, positive ideas.
yeah. So there's a little bit more to it, but it's very similar.
So training-wise, what do you need to do to become, is it certified, or what's the background?
Yeah, well, I'm a certified hypnotist. I did go to school to learn hypnosis. Right now in the state of Connecticut, unfortunately or fortunately, depending how you want to look at it, there is no regulation for hypnosis. So anyone can become a hypnotist just by reading up on it and reading how to do it and hanging out the shingle and saying I'm a hypnotist. But I think training is important just because there's so many aspects to it. And you're dealing with a wide array of people, a wide array of conditions and goals that people are working on, and training really helps with that.
No, you have some letters after your name. It's M.A. and C.H., is it? What does that mean?
The MA, I do have a master's degree. It's in integrative health and healing, and the CH is for certified hypnotist.
Oh, okay. And where did you go to get the certified hypnotist certification?
I did that through a school called HMI. It's Hypnosis Motivation Institute. They actually changed their name, so now it's HMI College of Hypnotherapy. They're located in California. I didn't go there live. I took distance
Oh, you didn't
courses.
have to fly there, huh?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not have to
Okay.
fly
The
there.
internet, that's great.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I did courses remotely, and I had a mentor there that I worked with, and it was a 2-year program, actually 22 months, so just a little shy of 2 years. And the first year is primarily focusing on the academic part of hypnosis, really learning how the mind works, how hypnosis works. Watched a lot of demonstrations. And then the second half, probably the last 10 months, are more focused on the internship and really getting your own clients. So I had a lot of friends and family help me out and put in about 200 hours of hypnosis work before I was complete with the program.
So we're not going to see you up on stage doing hypnosis acts, are we?
No, it's a different form of hypnosis. I mean, really, all hypnosis is the same. It's the same concept, but yeah, I don't do the chicken dance thing.
Well, years ago, I still went to see Kreskin, and for the older folks, you might remember the tall, thin guy with big glasses, and he was interesting. He put on a good show, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
I know you're not one of the Kreskins.
Yeah, but it shows you what the power of the mind can do. It can really help people loosen up, let go of their inhibitions, so that they can do these crazy things on stage that they do.
Right.
Grown men, twirling around like ballerinas, and
I didn't. Why are you looking at me? I didn't do that. Yes, at the shows we go. Let's see. Oh. I think later on, if we're nice to Michelle, she's going to give a demonstration. Now, can you hypnotize a person while they're talking to you? Are you hypnotizing us right now?
I might be.
Oh.
Can you hypnotize a dog?
I've seen actually demonstrations where people are hypnotizing animals.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really hypnosis, because a person needs to be able to understand the directions that you're giving them and understand what you're telling them to visualize and to experience. And I don't know that you can do that so well with an animal. You can inspire an animal to relax and to go into a deep relaxation. I'm just not sure 100% that it's true hypnosis.
Right.
You have one of those out-of-control dogs.
Yeah.
You stare them in the eye.
Exactly.
Well, it's funny,
Stare them down.
I do Reiki a little bit. I do Reiki. It's a little hands-on, kind of not healing, but it's just energy work.
Energy work, yeah.
And my daughter has a dog at home, and I swear the dog just comes over and kind of puts his head on my lap, and I just put my hands on his head. He just stays there, nice and quietly.
Yeah, it's
So,
like they know.
Yeah.
They know you're working
It's like
with
the
them.
energy goes through them. I don't know.
Yeah. So on some level,
There
they're
is some-
picking up
Right.
our energy. Maybe
Right.
they have a little ESP, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you have some dogs that can predict when their master is having an attack of some sort before they have the attack.
Oh yeah.
And that's quite unique. So animals are really here for our
Unique
benefit.
creatures, absolutely. What was the feedback on your family members that you performed the hypnosis on?
It was mixed. I did a lot of weight loss because actually I incorporated my hypnosis studies in with my master's program because I had to do a final project.
Yeah.
So my project revolved around weight loss with hypnosis. So I had a lot of clients that I was doing that for. And it was sort of a mixed bag. It was about 50-50 at that point when I was just starting. Some people did really well with it and took off some pounds.
Right.
And other
That's
people
good.
not so much.
Yeah.
And again, though, it can come back a lot too. They were doing it to help me out. It wasn't necessarily so much that it was their goal to lose weight. Had it not been for me offering free services, they might not have otherwise pursued doing hypnosis or even losing weight to begin with. So
Just to let you know, it's not free services anymore. You're not unless you're family.
that's right.
But Michelle's information is on the bottom of the screen, and that's my information right now. But you can contact her at the website. It's a very informative website. There's lots of things you can go to. She has a newsletter. She has articles that she's written and email. The other one is the email on the bottom there. I can't see it from here, but you can see it
there.
on the
I can see
TV
it.
set.
Yeah.
The streaming live people, you can't see any of this stuff, so you're stuck until you have to see the TV show. Let's see, I think we have about 25, 30 minutes left.
Wow.
What about children? Can children?
Yes, children are
hypnotized?
very good at being hypnotized. In fact, children are very suggestible to begin with. Generally, children from 8 years old and under, they're so suggestible you almost don't need to hypnotize them. It's a matter of just gently conversing with them or having a conversation in a very fun way that allows the information that you give them to really settle into their subconscious. Almost everything you say to them settles into their subconscious. From about 8 years up and older, they begin to develop a barrier around the subconscious mind that kind of protects the subconscious mind. They're less suggestible. They tend to use their logic and reason a lot more. And that's where helping them to relax deeply into a hypnotic state becomes more helpful. Relaxing really opens up the subconscious mind to deep learning.
Right.
And yeah, kids are great with hypnosis.
And then when they become teenagers, they know everything all of a sudden.
Right.
Yeah.
And how dumb the parents are.
And they don't need hypnosis.
And then 21, the things change around again.
Yeah,
Help,
absolutely.
I need some help.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of curious. I mean, with kids that have, you know, attention deficit disorder, you know, ADD or something like that, maybe this is a good way for them to learn how to relax and I'm not sure. I wonder.
Yeah, not
to
so.
some
Yeah,
extent.
yeah. Making change through hypnosis, it can be challenging with somebody that has ADHD. It's not impossible, but it is challenging. But the relaxation factor, just teaching them to go into self-hypnosis and to relax, can have really good effects.
Yeah, I can imagine. I would think.
And do your clients get referred to by doctors, medical doctors?
Yeah, I don't do a lot of medical hypnosis, but when I do, if I'm doing pain control, I do require a referral from a doctor. Because pain is actually a good thing, and you don't want to just automatically block every pain signal that you have.
Yeah.
Sure.
You want to make sure that the pain signal that you're trying to diminish is something that's of a chronic condition. The doctor's aware of it, and that signal is no longer useful to you as a diagnostic tool, so to speak. So if I have people that come to me with migraine headaches, sometimes, you know, neck pain or back pain from an old injury. And as long as it's okay with the doctor, then we proceed and work on that. So,
Okay.
and I do get doctors that do send their patients to me when they want their patient to stop smoking. And again, sometimes I have to screen them out because if they're only coming to me because the doctor is encouraging them to, but not really for their own internal reasons, you know, it becomes really difficult to get somebody to quit at that time. So I try to encourage them and, you know, see if I can encourage them to reach that level where they're excited about quitting. And if I just can't seem to get them there, usually even they admit it to themselves that, yeah, I'm just not ready for it.
And that would probably come out during the first session, right?
Yeah, generally it comes out because I like to see after when the session's complete that they come out of it feeling different. They have a different level to their craving. Maybe their cigarette craving has come way down, or maybe they just feel so different about cigarettes than they did before the session. You know, they hate them, or they just they have a whole different attitude about it. And if I see that, then I know, you know, something's changed on a deep level, and then we just have a couple reinforcement sessions to really lock
So it
that
could be
in.
a couple of sessions then for smoke cessation, huh?
Yeah, I like to do a couple of sessions beyond the actual quit date, because you want to seal that in so that the next time they come across a stressful point in their life, they don't revert to the old habit. And again, it comes down to really breaking that old habit. And you can really get somebody to quit smoking in one session. But if you want it to really stay a lifelong, permanent change, it really takes a little bit of reinforcement to create that new habit. So it's not just a one-time thing. it becomes a habit.
And a pack of cigarettes costs a lot of money these days.
That in
does.
itself should be.
If you
a
want
good
to
does,
give
yes.
yourself a raise,
Yeah,
stop
exactly.
smoking.
Coming to me is a bargain. When people want to quit smoking,
Wow,
it's
yeah.
a bargain. Have a couple of sessions, be done with it,
Yeah.
and watch your bank account grow after that.
Exactly.
There you go.
How many repeats? You know, people that have done their sessions, come back for a few reinforcements, and then, I mean, a year later, 2 years later, how often do you get that?
Yeah, I'm starting to get that more and more now. I mean, I've been in practice now for just a little over 5 years. And so now I'm starting to get people coming back. They're saying, hey, I came to you 3, 4 years ago
You've helped me
for
with this,
smoking, and
now,
now
yeah.
I want to lose weight, or now I want to
okay.
do something else.
That's
and
great, yeah.
So it's exciting seeing people come back and,
Right.
and hearing their stories and saying, yeah, it's been 3 or 4 years. I haven't lit up
There
since.
you're walking
and-
billboard, huh?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a lot of competition? Are there a lot of certified hypnotists?
There are hypnotists
Connecticut?
around. I don't really look at it so much as competition. I don't think that there's a fierce competition among hypnotists because we all have different styles, and you know, people are looking for different things. I tend to work from a very, I guess, a very practical level. Some people work with hypnosis from a more spiritual direction. Some people are more, you know, showmanship kind of hypnotists. You know, so there's all different styles. You know, and so I think there's enough work for everybody. It's not really a competition
Right.
so much, but there's a lot of hypnotists around.
But one hypnotist, you know, someone may go to one hypnotist, that hypnotist may not fit their style or whatever it is, and then they come to you maybe and
Yeah.
it works better for them? Is that a
Yeah,
possibility?
yeah, that can happen. In fact, it has. I've had clients come to me and they said, you know, I worked with so-and-so and it just didn't work, and I'm ready to try again, and I just want to try with somebody new. And you know, sometimes that's all it takes is just working with a different hypnotist. I try to have a lot of different tricks in my bag, you know, to help people because
Right.
everybody's different. You know, some people really need a more direct, commanding type of hypnosis, like you are getting sleepy, you know, that kind of very demanding,
Right.
direct thing. And some people need more of a metaphorical storytelling thing to bring them into that state.
And you can pick that up pretty quickly?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes just in the way the person talks to you, kind of build a little rapport before you start the session, and you can learn a lot about a person in, you know, even just a 20-minute conversation. Sometimes I ask certain questions directly to really get more information about how best to help them. And
Where are you located?
I am located in Middletown
Okay.
on William Street. It's easy to get to, right off of Main Street.
Great. So are you going to hypnotize them? Or?
Oh, I think you're itching to have a guinea pig, right?
Exactly.
To do
Yeah.
a demonstration with?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and
I'll volunteer.
we can work with you too, Stephanie.
Oh, sure, of
Whoa.
course.
And the audience as well. I mean, this is something, I'm just going to do a visualization exercise with you.
We have about roughly 20 minutes,
Okay.
but you can take them at
I'll keep
18,
track of the time
so
here.
15 minutes or something like that.
Okay. So I'm just going to work with an exercise that will help you reach your peak state, your peak potential. And I call this exercise the Circle of Excellence. Actually, I don't call it that. Lots of hypnotists call it that. Circle of Excellence. But you can really call it Circle of Confidence, Circle of Power, Circle of any state that you want to have. So if you want to start, I would just have you think of a state that you might want to have for an event in the future. Maybe you have something you need to do. You know, do you need confidence? Do you
The
need?
Emmys are coming up.
Oh, exactly.
Do we keep our eyes open or closed, or what do you just look at you, or?
No, I'm going to have you close your eyes
Oh, jeez.
and relax.
And then-
Okay.
And then the viewing audience can
Yeah.
do this as well.
They close their eyes too, so
Yeah.
they don't see us.
Yeah.
You can do this on radio.
You can peek if you have to. But yeah, this is just to help you relax a little bit before doing the visualization, because the more relaxed you are, you know, the deeper these changes really do settle into the subconscious mind, so that these changes can become, you know, really powerful for you. So just holding your eyes closed, just take a deep breath, and then just allow your body to just settle into relaxation. Allow your muscles to relax and loosen up. Stephanie's loosening up.
Stephanie's laughing.
That's okay.
Did she look at me?
That happens. That happens, and it's okay.
I cannot do this without laughing. I don't know why.
Okay.
You know, it's just funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
That happens. It's part of the
being
letting go
serious.
process.
All right, I wanna be
so
serious.
let yourself laugh. If you need to laugh.
That's going to be my focus.
Okay. So just allow yourself to relax to the best of your ability. And you can even relax consciously just by bringing your attention right up to your head and allowing yourself to relax your forehead. Relax all the muscles through the brow bone. Relax your eyelids, all those little muscles around the eye. I'm going to ask you to relax the cheek muscles because Stephanie's having a problem with that.
Oh my goodness, I'm horrible at this. Oh gosh. No wonder I've never relaxed.
Yeah, just, you know, to the best of your ability, allow your muscles to just go slack. Even the neck muscles, bring that relaxation right into your neck. And even as you feel the back of your neck relaxing, the sides of the neck, bring it around to the front of the neck. Even the throat muscles, allow all the muscles in your throat to relax. Good. And then just allow that relaxation to flow right down into your shoulders. You might even feel like your shoulders are becoming heavy as they relax. And just allow that. Whatever sensation you feel, just allow that to be there. And as the shoulders become nice and loose and relaxed, allow that relaxation to flow right down the arms. The upper arms becoming relaxed, flowing down into the lower arms. Right down to the fingertips.
It's doing so.
You're doing okay. Okay, and just bring your attention back up to the top of your spine, to the back of your neck. And take that relaxation there and just allow it to flow right down your spine. Feel it in the upper back, just letting go. Letting go of the muscle tension in your mid-back. Let it flow down to the low back. Good. And then just allow that relaxation to continue flowing downward, down into the hips, into the legs. And right over the knees into the lower legs. And relax all the way down to your feet. Feeling that relaxation right from your heels right down to your toes. And now that you're relaxed, what I'm going to have you do is use your imagination for a bit. And imagine that there's a circle in front of you. And you can imagine yourself standing right here in the studio, or imagine yourself at home, or even imagine yourself maybe at work or on stage. But the important thing is to imagine that there's a circle on the floor in front of you. And so with your eyes closed, we're just going to give your imagination a workout. And imagine that your circle has a color. Now, your imagination might have already supplied you with that color, so if it has, just notice what color that circle is. And if not, you can even choose a color and give that circle the color of your choosing. And even give that circle a texture. Is it plastic? Or metallic? Or some other texture? And just see that. See that in your imagination. There might even be a temperature to that circle. And you can decide whether you want that circle to be cool or warm, or maybe just body temperature. This is your imagination, so you get to decide. And now what I want you to do is just for a moment, think back to a time when you were at your most confident. Maybe it was just one incident that you can think of where you were very confident and it just felt so good. And now, to the best of your ability, bring in all of the images that you associate with that confidence. And in that circle, using your imagination again, put a life-size version of you into that circle. See yourself standing there with that high level of confidence. Get a sense of what that looks like. You probably hold yourself differently. You have a different posture. Maybe you have a facial expression of confidence, whether that's a smile or a more serious face, but whatever you see, take notice of it. And as you hold on to that visual image of confidence, also bring in the feelings of confidence, thinking back again to that event where you were very confident. Try to remember what that feels like, to feel very confident. And maybe you've never had a sense of real, true confidence. And if that's the case, that's okay. You're going to use your imagination to imagine what you would want confidence to feel like. And then hold on to that. Hold on to that feeling. And put that feeling into that life-sized you that's in that circle. And now what I'm going to have you do is actually, in your mind, again, is step into that circle and step into that confident you that's standing there. Just nod your head when you're there. Good. Good. And now what I'm going to have you do is bring your thumb and forefinger of your right hand together in the OK symbol. Good. And say to yourself, confidence. Okay, and you can relax your hand. Good. And now just for a moment, step out of the circle. And we're just going to do this again and just sort of reinforce this exercise. So again, visualize that life-sized, confident you in the center of that circle. And put all the qualities of confidence into that life-sized you, that life-sized Jerry, that life-sized Stephanie. The images, the feelings. Good. And now step back into that circle, stepping into that life-sized version of you, that confident you. And again, bring your thumb and forefinger together in the OK symbol. Good. And say, confidence. Are you saying it?
Hello.
That's okay. Good. Okay, you can relax your hand. Good. Now I'll have you step out of the circle again. And now you can repeat this exercise. You know, for the sake of time, we won't keep doing this. But what I will have you do is just take a deep breath to bring yourself back here into the room. Going to bring your attention back here. Very good. And now, what you would do at home with this exercise is repeat it a few times over, and you'll notice that each time you repeat it, more and more of that confidence remains, you know.
You can feel the tingling effect in my body when you were going from top to bottom.
Oh, yeah, just letting go of the day's
Oh, I can open my eyes,
stress.
so.
You can open your eyes, yes.
Keep your eyes
if you want
closed, my
to.
dear.
You don't have to.
Was it good for you?
How did that feel, though?
Good. It was
Yeah.
very relaxing. I have a hard time relaxing, as you can
Yeah.
probably imagine.
It's like meditation, though, you know, it's in a peaceful state.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice.
It's
I think your
peaceful and-
voice,
Yes,
just
it was.
the soothing sound of your voice, just kind of like so even keel, was the most helpful for me, believe it or not.
Yeah. That's my hypnosis voice.
Yeah.
Very monotone.
Very nice.
I have to
Very
remind myself not to talk like that when I'm conversing at parties.
nice. You are tired.
The rest of the party's just.
This party's so
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, that was really interesting. That was really great.
So I hope that's an exercise you can practice,
Definitely.
and you can use it for any state of mind. It doesn't
Right.
have to be just confidence. It can be anything.
Right.
You know, if you're in line at the grocery store and you need patience, put that circle down
That's
in
a
front
good
of
one.
you.
Yeah.
Step into that circle and bring in patience.
Yeah.
You know.
And the good thing is you don't have to close your eyes. You can just do
Right,
it.
you can do it
right?
very consciously with eyes open,
Right.
or you can do it very hypnotically in a relaxed
Right.
state. And you know, it doesn't require any equipment. You don't need any stress balls to squeeze. There's no tools. It's just it's all your mind,
Yeah.
all your mind power.
Yeah.
Well, we have about 7 minutes left, so my clocks are off.
Where does the time go?
We had confidence training,
Yeah. Exactly.
and we'll have to, next time we're in the play, if we have that opportunity again, we'll have
yes.
to
Hypnotize Danny.
hypnotize us.
And us too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's not was that hypnotism?
That was more visualization.
Okay.
Hypnosis takes a little more time, especially for Stephanie, because we have to get past the giggles. But that's really what we do in hypnosis. It's you know, we did it rather quickly, so it didn't really allow you to get into a deep, deep state of hypnosis. But a lot of change that takes place doesn't have to happen on a very deep hypnotic level. You know, we're not doing surgery without anesthesia, so it doesn't require that deep trance, zombie-like trance. You know, just light trance can be helpful. And I know it's hard to even be hypnotized when you've got cameras on you and you know you have a lot of thoughts racing, like how many minutes are left to the show. It's you know your thoughts are your thoughts are elsewhere, and that's okay.
Yeah.
This is just more of a demonstration to show you what it looks like, what it feels like.
Do people ever fall asleep when you're? I guess they get so.
Well, yeah, when I was starting
waiting for
out,
you to do that.
when I was starting out, people would fall asleep, and I
Yeah.
learned some tricks around that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
You didn't take it personal, did you?
no.
Well, I would almost think that's a really good thing because they're. you're so calming that they're just
yeah. Well, there's a window right before you fall asleep where it's like the ideal hypnosis.
Right.
But once they're off and snoring and into REM sleep, it's like that's it.
Right.
Then they're lost to hypnosis. It's not really as effective at that point.
That's true.
But there is a window there where.
I know when I
They're
was
very
doing-
suggestible. That's
When
why
I
you
was-
don't fall asleep with the news, because you're so suggestible as you're falling asleep with the TV on that you're taking in so many
Don't watch the
negative
news
things.
anymore would be a better idea.
Right.
But when I was doing Reiki, I found some of the patients they just nodded off within 5 minutes, and I took that to be a compliment.
Yeah, with
for energy work and for Reiki,
Yeah.
So it's different
yeah,
for
because you
that,
don't need
okay.
them to focus their attention on
Yeah.
anything particular. So that's in that case, that's really good. For me, for the work that I do, I generally want them to follow my direction in some area. I'm usually asking people to visualize a certain thing. So I need a certain level of attention from them, or at least the ability to bring back their attention if it wanders.
But to respond, basically, to
Yeah.
some extent. Like
Right,
you were saying, put your
right.
fingers together. I mean,
Right.
be
If-
awake enough
Had
to
you
know
been
how to do-
asleep,
Right.
you would have missed that
Right.
whole part of it.
Well, we have about 5 minutes left, but before we lose time, I want to thank you, Michelle. We're not going to go
Yeah, thank
yet,
you.
just before, so I don't have to rush through it. I'm nice and
very good.
relaxed now. I'll talk slower. But it was nice of you to spend your time and energy with us tonight.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
And the information on Michelle's information is on the bottom of the screen. And if you'd like to contact her for more information about what she does and what, just feel free to contact her. And that's nice, and it's a nice feeling after this whole thing is over. And the people that have been looking at the show, you will watch the show every month. And you will like the show every month. And you will want to be here every month with Jerry and Stephanie. And again, I want to rename the show. So if you have any suggestions on any good name for the show, send it to the abced@yahoo.com email address. And just keep it nice. Don't be nasty now. Let's see. Guess that's all I. Oh, and we're taping this the day before the inauguration, and I want to thank the past administration for all their hard work and energy and effort to keep us safe. And we ask God and to help the new administration coming in tomorrow to guide them in their decision making and keeping everybody peaceful and safe again, and not only in our country but in the world. And just thank God for the opportunity that we do have as American citizens to live the way we do. And thank you for the soldiers, men and women, and the dog, the animals that are involved with the soldiering of our country. You're doing a wonderful job, and thank you very much. And we have 2 minutes left. That's my
Who's
little.
that?
That's my barker.
Oh.
Speaking of dogs,
Speaking of,
I had a
exactly.
timer on. It's barking at me. Said
Right.
we have. It's done, but we have 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left, yeah. Well, I can tell you one thing. I'm going to actually try some of this tonight because I have a hard time falling asleep sometimes. I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to use this tonight to see if it relaxes me enough to give me that calmness and
yes.
just kind of
And use that
tranquility.
progressive muscle relaxation.
Right,
That'll take you
right.
right into sleep and
Exactly.
really take your time. I did it
Yeah.
rather fast, but you can do it
Yeah.
much
I'm
slower.
gonna hear
and
your
it's very
voice.
relaxing.
Call up at night and midnight. Say, talk to me. Talk to me.
Exactly.
And how do you
thank
calm
you.
yourself down after a busy day of work?
That's what I do. I like the progressive muscle relaxation and some calming music, and
Yeah.
I rarely turn the TV on. I find the TV
More
to
of
be
a
overstimulating,
distraction,
and sometimes just shutting out noise is a big positive.
And I want to thank the people that have been viewing us, maybe on YouTube, not YouTube,
Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook,
Thank
yeah.
you. I don't know what we're doing here.
It'll be on YouTube later.
And thank you again for watching the ABCs of Education, and hope to see you next month with a different show.
Thank
Bye
you.
now. Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for having
It was
me.
wonderful.
And we'll just hang around until we're finished.
Yeah, that was great.